Here's some breaking news, I would say, on US and Iran again, but this time for updates as well. Today, which I would say Donald Trump agreed with Iran, I would say for 2 weeks ceasefire, I would say to stop striking Iran and also reopening the Strait of Hormuz as well. And also, if you look at, I would say on 8 p.m. Eastern, I would say on Tuesday night, which I would say Donald Trump set a deadline for Tuesday, but I would say after this deadline, I would say Donald Trump will strike Iran. However, there are some, I would say, some agrees with these agreement with Iran, which I would say I would say Iran announcing a 2 week ceasefire subject to Iran, which also including complete, immediate, and safe opening the Strait of Hormuz, which I would say the Donald Trump post on social media that saying that we already have met and exceed all military objectives, and we are very far along with distinctive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. But if you look it back, I would say on Truth Social, on the previous post, that I would say Donald Trump has threatened, I would say, the military operation against Iran, also including power plants, I would say the oil production, and also another infrastructure that also Donald Trump has been I would say Donald Trump also targeted the Iranian infrastructure, also has been temporarily halted. And also the Trump, I would say, has claimed, I would say, have received a 10-point proposal from Iran that I would say he called as a workable basis, which on to the negotiate, which I would say is a positive step, but I would say but there's some, I would say, fundamental obstacle, I would say, to entering this conflict, but I would say the threats, I would say, still non-existent. But I would say none of these measures, I would say, dispute, I would say, powering hostility has been resolved as well. And also more, I would say Iran's 10-point plan for a ceasefire with help with the US, which I would say the US and Iran scheduled Friday, I would say in Pakistan, I would say in the capital city, which Islamabad, I would say have held talkings on Pakistan, which is based on, I would say, 10-point plan to Iran that has been formulated, that Trump has been accepted. And now here's our more details. Here's our more details on, I would say, on 10 points plan as well, which I would say these information are from a Iran's Fair News Agency, which have 10 one. I would say we have 10 points. For the first one, it's Iran commitment not to build nuclear weapons. Second, it's provision paving the way of complete cessation of any aggression against Iran and allied groups. 3, it's a possible withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region, ban on any attacks on Iran from regional bases. 4th is a limited daily passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz for 2 weeks under a safe passage protocol provision and specific rules of Iran. And also number 5 is lifting all primary, secondary, and also sanctions against Iran. And number 6, it's, I would say, carving Iran's loss from the war by creating an investment and a financial fund for the country. Number 7, it's acceptance by the U.S. of Iran's right to enrich nuclear materials, discussion on the level of enrichment. Number 8, it's a permission for Iran to negotiate bilateral and multilateral peace treaties with, I would say, with regional country. Number 9, it's a extension of non-aggression policy towards of all resistant groups in the region. And also lastly, number 10 are verification of all commitments through an official United Nations resolution or UN resolution as well. And also lastly, I would say according to Donald Trump's, I would say, hearing, and also Donald Trump's wrote, and also according to Donald Trump, which I'm saying that I would say he also, I would say, adding that his administration, Trump, I would say, received a 10-point Iran, and also he said that I believe it is a workable basis on which negotiate. Lastly, he also wrote on these details as well, which saying that almost all of the various points of past contention has been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consuming stated, which also Donald Trump wrote. And he also wrote that on behalf of the United States of America as the president, and also representing the country of the Middle East, and it's the honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution as well. These are the updates on, I would say, the U.S. and Iran war, not like this currently situation as well.